Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel and to another one. In this one we are going to be talking self-awareness. I thought I could give you guys tips and pointers about how to be more self-aware, but before we get into that, I wanted to get in the importance of being self-aware. Okay, the importance of knowing when you are the problem. And I know we all hate this, but the truth to be told is sometimes we be the problem. And if your goal is, you know, to someday be in a manager position or run your own business, you know, being self-aware is going to be extremely helpful in those endeavors. So I'm going to quickly touch on that, on some people and situations where I feel like, you know, the lack of self-awareness was the problem. For example, I used to have this amazing hairdresser and she really used to know how to do hair, very gifted in her area, but she was always late, like permanently late. And when I say late, you guys, like she wasn't like, you know, 15 minutes late. Like she would be like 2, 3, you know, 5. Even there was this time where she was 9 hours. You guys, I wish I was making this up, but unfortunately I'm not. She was 9 hours late, and every time she would say, oh, it's not my fault, you know, my baby this and my husband this and my baby this and my husband that. And every time I would laugh because, you know, I'm at home all day, I don't really mind, but I was really laughing because it was crystal clear to me how she really wasn't self-aware at all. Not that I'm trying to discredit, you know, that her baby wasn't well or her husband, you know, didn't show up for her in the way that she wanted him to, but you know, she would always say, for example, I would come at 10 or 11. I would always ask her, are you sure? Because I don't mind, I'm at home all day. You can come at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. In my opinion, if she was self-aware enough, she would know, okay, it's better, you know, the later I say, the better it is, because I don't know whether my husband is going to come home and help me out with the toddler or the baby, right? Or I used to know, you know, this person, I think we all know somebody like this, you know, who makes friends, you know, quite quickly, quite easily with a lot of people, you know, in the span in 4 to 5 months, you know, this person is the best friend in the world. And then at some point they tell you how this person did them dirty and they did them horrible and they were a narcissist, and you know, and they have a lot of people, like not only one, you know, they can tell you like about, you know, 6 to 9 people where they went to this with them. Oh, this person was so nice at first, but later they did this and they did that and they did the third. And in my opinion, what this person lack again is self-awareness. They don't see how they are the common denominator in all of this story. They are the common denominator. Like they were friends with this person, with the next person, with the third person, and every time there was a fallout, and they don't see how they are the common denominator. These people went out to be friends with other people or have been friends with other people for years and have no problem, but every single time that they enter the picture, that they enter the painting, there is drama, and they can't see how they are the common denominator, how they are the problem. So self-awareness is a very important skill to have, especially, you know, when you are looking to, you know, enter a relationship as well. Self-awareness is very important in romantic relationships because it, you know, allows you to see where, you know, your partner is really did something that is harmful to you, or whether really you are being triggered from, you know, a memory from childhood, from a trauma from childhood. So self-awareness is really one of those skills that is paramount, extremely important in, you know, every relationship that you're trying to build, whether it be friendship or romantic relationship, or whether, you know, you're trying to, you know, go higher in your career, become a manager, or, you know, even become an entrepreneur and start your own business and, you know, have a staff. You're going to need to be self-aware and recognize, you know, when you are the problem, because, you know, sometimes it don't be your staff, it don't be your employee. Truly, you know, even though they don't have the guts or the nerves to tell you, sometimes truly it be you. So self-awareness allows you to recognize when you've made a mistake, you know, when you are that person that needs to, you know, check yourself and come back to base and come back to line. So how to be self-aware? I say number one is do not be defensive. Now this is very hard for most people, but there is no self-awareness where there is defensiveness. There just isn't. Okay, so try not to be defensive, because you can't be self-aware when you are. Okay, so try to, without defensiveness, you know, assess when someone comes to you with a complaint or with a remark, try not to be defensive. And this isn't always easy, I'm not gonna lie, even for me, but you have to try your hardest, because as long as you are defensive, you're not going to be able to receive the information. And perhaps, not always, but perhaps this is helpful information. Now, I'm not saying that every time that people have a remark or critique about us that they are right. Really, sometimes they be wrong, but if you keep an open mind, and you are going to be able to meditate about it and know whether they are right or wrong. So step number 1 is do not be defensive, okay? Step number 2 is therapy, right? Because talking with a mental health professional allows you to have a good grasp, a solid grasp on your childhood trauma, on your parents, and what you've experienced. And this helps you recognize your triggers. And when you recognize your triggers, you're going to be recognizing, you know, when you are the problem. This is very important. A lot of people are unable to tell when they are the problem, and Lord knows, sometimes, I know we all hate to admit this, but the truth of the matter is sometimes we be the problem. And this is where therapy is so important. Now, I talk a lot about betterhelp.com, you know, because it's affordable. It's $140 per month, I believe, but you know, it's really helpful in order to recognize your own trauma and where you are the problem. Now, you also want to implement journaling. Journaling is a very helpful habit when it comes to, you know, recognizing again when you are the problem. So every day in the evening, what I recommend to do, what I do is, you know, journal, review my day, you know, what I've been through, who I talked to, how I felt, you know, the conversation went, where did I feel I could have done or said something differently. This is very important, because more time than not, we always feel like the other person is the problem. This is, you know, human beings are, I would venture to say it is our nature, you know, but the truth to be told is there is no 100-0. I think this is really important for us to recognize. Like, there is no situation in this life where, you know, you are 0% at fault. There is just no such thing. Even if you are just 1% at fault, there is always something that you could have done differently in order to alleviate the situation. And this is what I always ask people to look for. If your goal is to increase self-awareness, you always want to ask yourself, what could I have done differently? What could I have said differently? This is always going to help you be more self-aware. This is what I always tell people when they ask me how to increase self-awareness. You know, in every situation, even in the situations where you feel you have been done wrong, okay, ask yourself, is there anything that I could have said or done differently? And I promise you, more time than not, if you are really open, to an answer, you are going to find something that you could have said or done differently. Even if, you know, and some people come at me and it's like, yeah, people always use me, I'm a very nice person, I'm an empath, I'm a giver, and people always use me and abuse me, and you are telling me there's something I could have done differently. And I said, yes, you know, what you could have done differently in this situation is not be a giver to people who are takers, you know. Even if the only thing you could have done is really understanding that this person is a taker and an abuser, and I do not need to engage them, or I should not engage them, there is always something that we could have done differently. So one of the ways that of recognizing, you know, or of increasing self-awareness rather, is recognizing, you know, that you always play a role, that in every situation there is something that we could have done or said differently. I promise you, you know, if you live by these 3 rules, that you are going to be more self-aware than ever before, and that will translate in all areas of your life, be it your friendship, businesses, or even, you know, relationship with friends and family members will change tremendously the second you understand, you know, the power and the importance of self-awareness. Also the importance of, you know, understand when you are not dealing with someone who is self-aware. I think this is the #1 thing. This is one of, and you know, the most important things that people don't talk about. You know, one thing that I never do is argue with someone who is not self-aware. I never do this, because really, I'm sorry to say, but arguing with a fool is, you know, it's a fool's errand, really. Are you a fool? And no, if you're not a fool, if the answer is no and you're not a fool, avoid, you know, arguing with foolish people. And really, people who are not very self-aware are kind of foolish, so you don't want to argue with them. So, you know, at any given time, ask yourself, you know, is this even worth my energy? Am I even arguing with anybody that, you know, with someone that even has the capacity to understand, you know, what I'm about and what this is about, or what life is about? This is extremely important as well. So, you know, do not waste your time, you know, arguing or getting into it with people that do not, you know, have the, you know, are not able to introspect and are not self-aware at all. That's also very important as well. But yeah, that's, you know, all I have to say on self-awareness on this one. In the comment section down below, you know, let me know, you know, what are your top tips on self-awareness. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up as well, so that other people can see it and increase their level of self-awareness. Subscribe to my channel as well for more interesting videos, and I will talk to you guys soon and very soon. Bye guys.